doing coming in here with so much valuables? Okay. All right. So there's are those on tight? You got these on tight? No, you don't. You still use. Do you want to learn? Here, John, put your gloves on tight for me.
Okay.
Do you want to learn kickboxing or boxing?
Kickboxing is probably more helpful, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, these ones work out.
John, will you run in the basement and get the tie pads?
Yeah.
It's a big rectangular pad that says Fairtex on it. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Anything that looks like a pad down there. You want to kickboxing? Okay. We'll start with punches because the punches are kind of the same. The main, probably the big difference is that in kickboxing you don't use too much head movement. So if you were doing regular boxing, you would move your head like this and whatnot. And with kickboxing, you don't really do that because you can move your head into a kick, and that's not good. But the punches are the same. There's 6 different. You got to make eye contact while we're doing this, okay? Make eye contact at all times. You don't have to make eye contact. Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you not want head movement if you're doing kickboxing?
So you can like kick and lean your head into.
You'll lean your head into a kick or a knee. There's 6 different punches. So there's not really 30 different punches or 50 different punches. There's 6 main ones in boxing. And the way that we...
Please?
Yeah, thank you. The way that we call them out is by number. And they're kind of used in proportion to what number they are. So the 1 is used most commonly. The 5 and the 6 are the least commonly thrown. The 1 is a jab, okay? Which, if you were going to punch a hole in a wall, which hand would you use?
My right hand.
Your right hand. Okay, so what that means is you're probably going to be left hand first. Have you ever skateboarded?
No.
Do you know if you snowboarded?
No.
Have you ever been out of the country?
Yes.
You have? Where?
I went to Canada and
Oh, cool.
Mexico.
You went to Japan? Of course you did. Okay. So the way that you're going to do it is you're going to have your left foot forward and your right foot back. If that feels really unnatural at some point, you could switch to having your right foot forward and your left foot back. But my guess is that that's going to feel more unnatural. And the reason is your dominant hand and your dominant leg, these are your power hand and your power leg. These are the ones that you want to have the most. Are you actually learning this? Are you interested in this? You don't have to do this. You want to learn this?
I was personally advanced. It's pretty fun.
Okay. It is a fun way to work out. It's a little like DDR with the numbers being called out to as well. So the power hand and the power foot, you want those to have the most runway to get up to speed. So that's why it's back here, is because you can charge it up. Same thing with your right foot. And then what that means is the thing about the hand and the foot that have the most runway is that they're the most obvious to see coming. Okay, so if you get decent at this and you see someone go like this, you know that they're not going to hit you with that. So you don't really lead off with. You wouldn't lead off with this hand unless you're way better than the person or you're just being disrespectful. But if you charge this up, your opponent's going to see it coming from a mile away. So your left side is actually the side that you're going to lead off with most of the time. And you're actually going to be throwing a ton, like the jab, the first punch, the 1, you're going to be throwing a fuckload of those. So you're going to be throwing a ton of those compared to every other punch that you throw. And so the jab is going to be, well, first of all, let's get our feet fixed up here. So there's 2 different, anything that anyone tells you to do, there are like tweaks and variables that you can make it into your own. So if you feel more comfortable doing it one way versus another way, you might be more comfortable because you're lazy and it's wrong, or you might be more comfortable because it's your body and the person giving you advice has a different body than you. So for example, I have wide-ish hips and wide-ish shoulders. So if I was going to be like this right here, and I wanted to throw a 2, I would need to like rotate in a really crazy way that I can't really do, right? A smaller person, you might actually find it being like this. This is called bladed because your body's like turned like a blade, okay? You might find that being bladed is more natural. What I do is I stand more square. If you were going to stand totally square, this is totally square. And this is, you'd never do this, that's retarded. But if you start out bladed, you go more square. This is more square. This is even more square. So if I'm telling you go more bladed or go more square, that means either go more like this or more like this. But it's up to, right now it's like up to what feels more comfortable for you, okay? And what else we got here? So for the jab, the first step to building this jab is getting your lead foot to move along with your lead arm. So you have, as a human being, you have millions of reps of walking like this, where your left foot and your right arm are moving in tandem, and then vice versa. In boxing, that's sometimes the case, but it's usually the case that it's left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. So that's one of the first big tricks to learning here is flipping the hand-leg movement coordination so that your left and your left are going at the same time as your right and your right. Does that make sense? So the first drill you want to do is simply stepping forward at the same time that this hand comes out. And you don't even have to throw a punch. You can just have it come out like this. All you're doing is you're getting the coordination of this arm and that leg firing at the same time. Does that make sense? So the drill looks like this. Boom, 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 boom. Make sense? So let's do that down here to this way. Okay, freeze. When you take that right step, you're just taking a tiny little step. You're not stepping like up here. Your feet are always going to be left foot in front, right foot in back. So it's a little 4-inch half step, little 4-inch half step. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. Yeah. And now spin around and go the other way. And yeah, John, do this too.
Oh yeah.
There you go, yep. Little half step, little half step, little half step, little half step. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. That's good coordination. That's good for a starter. Do it again. Come back. Let's do it like 5 times.
Looking forward to getting knocked out by one of these soon train her well.
Three more times, Josie. Keep going, 1.5 more times. Almost done. Okay, so that's good. And that drill right there is that's useful even if you got good at this. That would be a useful drill to do. And one of the interesting things is that if you take the basics, like the very basic, like it is very basic. If you take that and get it like very clean and sharp and get good at it, that's how you get good. It's not like it's not like a 80s kung fu movie or something where there's like a bunch of moves. Like there's not really a bunch of moves. Does that make sense? And like there's no like and if you anyway, we'll keep going here. So we'll start with this jab, this one, okay? Typically when you hit pads, the person's going to hold them like this. When you hit them, the way that you hit them, you're going to make an X. Okay, so you hold your hands up. So if I was going to hit a 1-2, I'd hit this for the 1 and this for the 2. They would make this kind of X thing, and that's just because it doesn't really feel right hitting them like this. It doesn't feel right. So when you see this hand come up, that means I'm expecting you to punch with this one. Okay. And when you aim on this thing, pretend that this part right here is at the chin. Okay. If you're ever punching someone, you want to aim for the chin. If you hit them in the forehead, that doesn't really hurt. Side of the head's pretty good, but side of the chin is better. The chin is like a very weak spot in a person's head. It's like where you do the most damage. So aim for this right here, and for your guard or where you put your hands, there's a bunch of different places where you can put your hands, and it's all kind of dependent on different variables. But to start, what we'll do is we'll just touch your fingertips to your eyebrows, kind of like this, and get your elbows in, and then you want to make sure that you have visibility. Okay, you want to make sure you don't block your vision. You want to see. So look at me right now. Just put your hands out. Look at me. Like right now, I can see your hands and your feet, and I have my elbows are in kind of tight. And if you were to extend your arm for a punch, I would be able to close up like this and not really lose visibility all that much. Make sense? That's one way of keeping your hands, and that's probably the safest way when you're starting out. There's more shit like a long guard, which is where you have your hands out like this. That's kind of that's not really beginner type stuff, because long guard like leaves you exposed to a lot of different stuff. This is what leaves you exposed to the least. Okay, so this is like a good. If I'm sparring someone that's way better than me, I'll end up in this position a lot just because this is defensively the safest.
Can we get a John and Josie tag team against Gold Striker?
We'll do that later. All right, so get in this position right here, and then go ahead and extend your left hand. Hit that pad right there for a jab. Yeah, you can step with it. So the stepping, sometimes if I'm far away, you can move in with it, and if I'm not far away, you can just kind of pop that foot forward like an inch. You don't need, but not coming forward, but you're just kind of like using it to get your body up in my grill here. Come over here so Cam can see. I thought it would be funny to charge a plushie per hour of training, but we won't do that. Oh yeah! Ha ha ha! Ha ha!
Oh.
Alright, now do some hard ones now. And do these against John. Glove up. You're going to try to punch John. Okay, so John, you remember how to catch a jab, right?
Like this?
Yes,
Yeah.
with your right hand. All right, so you're going to actually try to hit him.
No.
Try to knock me out.
Slow,
Yeah,
right?
you're going to try to hit his face.
Oh.
Yeah, try to knock me out.
No, don't try to knock him out, but you're only throwing jabs. You can only throw this one punch. Okay, so he knows what punch to expect, and he's going to block it by having this glove right here in front of his mouth, ready to catch like that. Okay, and don't overwhelm him with a crazy pace. Give him a little break after each one. But let's go ahead and try it. You ready to catch?
Yeah.
All right. Slow the pace down. Slow the pace down. So I want you to, after every punch, I want you to think about how it felt. So that's one reason why we slow the pace down. After you hit his glove, you're going to think to yourself, okay, I hit his glove, it didn't break through, I didn't hit him on the chin. What do I need to do
Josie
differently?
channel your spirit animal. Use your wolf spirit to defeat the white devil.
Okay, so think about each punch after you throw it. John, start moving around left to right. So now look here, freeze right there, John. So see this opening right here? So if you're punching with your fist like this, it's going to get blocked by his fist. If you turn it like this, you might be able to sneak through. And if you do it hard enough, make contact. Don't let it, John.
I know.
You're not looking for that opening. You're still punching his glove. You have to try to break through and hit him in the face here. He's not going to get hurt. It's fine. Get his ass. You're going to bust through that space. Okay, so now if he's blocking too many, you see how his forehead's exposed? You might have to aim for his forehead. Right?
Yeah, do it.
And he's not going to get better unless you actually try to get him.
Exactly.
So, I'm allowed to go
Hit him in the
back?
head. Hit him in the head.
Ha! Keep going.
With that forehead. Alright, now you can aim for anywhere in his head or you can aim for his stomach. Okay? And John, the way to block if it comes to your stomach, just put that in right there. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
And flex your abs. You're not gonna get hurt.
No, I know.
Alright, break. Good. So if they know the jab is coming, it's pretty easy to defend. The way you
Even Gold Striker couldn't give John a concussion. Show your true strength, Josie.
Hey, Josie, I've broken my rib before boxing people bigger than Gold Striker. Like, you're not going to broke me.
I don't believe that, but
No, it's true. I can give you my friend's number and he can inform it.
yeah, I think that's right. So the way that you the jab is pretty easy if you know that it's coming. The way that you make it so they don't know it's coming there's a few ways. One is a feint. A feint is a fake. So you would set it up by doing a fake and then the real one. So the fake would be like this. And you throw the real one, that's a fake. A feint. Okay. On McDonald's. So that's a feint. Okay. You can we'll work that in the next round. So you're gonna, it's like you're trying to convince them that it's real. So you got to convince them it's real. You can't just go like that. You actually do that, and then you throw the real one. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it.
In the white paper.
Thank you. Another way of doing it is with double and triple jabs. We're not going to do that against John yet because that'll get him. But a double jab is just 1, 2, or a triple jab 1, 2, 3, like that. That's double and triple. That's another way to break through. And then, I mean, that's pretty much it. Feints, and you can feint with another hand. So you can feint like this, and then throw the jab. Yeah, you can do that. You know, feint like you're going to throw a 2 like that, and then throw a 1. Or just be faster. Like if you see the opening,
Take it.
if you see the opening and he's blocking it still, that means you weren't fast enough. So with those body jabs especially, like those should be. Oh, another thing you can do is you can for now you can change up where your lead hand is. So if you're like this and you go to jab, it's kind of obvious they see the hand. But if you're like this right here and then you come in, then it's a little sneakier. Okay, so you can do that too. Okay. So let's do another round with John. I'm going to start out doing exactly what we did last time, and I'm going to tell you what to change now, okay? So go ahead and get started. All right, let's see some feints now.
Oh shit.
All right, go back to normal, And now you can do feints whenever you want, but not every time, because it'll get stale. Do you know where the solar plexus is?
No.
It's right, it's like, you're trying to go to jab right there. Boom, like that. All right, now throw a double jab. Now throw double one, body then face. Now switch it up, double anywhere. All right, now try triple jab. All right, take a little mini break, get that ATP back in your muscles now. Just 10 seconds. And John, when you're defending, see how little energy you can put into your defense.
Okay.
So if you're going like that, see
taking it off.
if you can just do it like that. Okay. The less you can do, the better, because that means you can last longer.
Okay.
And if you're blocking a body jab, you can probably just do that right there.
Yeah. I'm trying to change reflex. I'm naturally going like this wall.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, don't swat the body jab, because if you swat the body jab, then they're going to come up and do that.
Exactly.
So. You gotta bust through, Josie. You gotta get in now. Break through. Break the glass.
So far, we have John back gold striker and John for the win.
Whenever you get tired, just take a break, but keep going until you get tired. Feint low, then shoot high. So make him drop his hands, then yeah. Now switch your stance and jab with your right hand. Give that a try. Get him. Come on. There you go. You got him. I think. Did you get you, John?
Guys, yeah.
Let's go, Josie. Come on.
Cherish these moments. Jason, they grow up fast.
You're dizzy.
Make him dizzy. Make his ass dizzy. Stim him into oblivion. Oh, there we go. Okay,
That was a good one.
Break. Good job, John.
Okay.
All right, so are you absorbing information? Do you still like this? You still want me to show you something? Are you actually serious? You don't have to.
It's fun.
You like it? Are you? I can't tell if you're being serious.
I think she's being serious.
Are you being serious? Okay. So the reason why you wouldn't really you don't really want to switch up to your right to switch stance like this. You don't want to really do that too much because most people are not.
The boxing lessons have been great. Thank you, Mr. Goldstriker.
Most people are not really into extras like that, to where they have they have good defense one way or the other. However, if he gets tired, okay, and you're kind of like more or less in control, and you know you can sway the balance by, because your right jab is much better, right? Because it's your dominant hand. So I know, like, if we're just going and I'm not getting anywhere, but you're like tired, I know that you're not a threat, and I know that if I switch stances up like this, and now I'm using my dominant hand to jab, then I can break through. That's when it's okay to switch your stance up.
I noticed it was easier for me to switch my stance up for defense too.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought it was harder.
Did you switch your stance?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, halfway through, because I was like, I feel like it was a lot harder when she was opposite.
Yeah.
So I changed it, and then it felt easier.
That makes sense, yeah. And then, I mean, fighting. This is called southpaw when they have their right. This is orthodox. This is southpaw. And fighting people southpaw is like it's like a whole thing. There's a whole thing about it because you're not going to encounter it much. It's pretty rare, and there's like it kind of changes everything. So that's neither here nor there. That's not really important for you to know right now. But point being, if your offense is not breaking through, but they're tired, you can switch and use your dominant hand to jab, and you'll have an easier time. Okay, I'll show you the jab defense now. And I'm going to do it because I know how to full punches. Probably, I think John will put on pretty hard.
Josie gonna be a pro boxer after Fish Tank Sensei Goldstriker showed her the way.
So your rear hand, you're going to take your rear hand, you're going to cover your mouth. Because remember, it's your forehead and the side of your head, it's not really the same type of target as your mouth. If you get hit in the mouth, it's very damaging. And you're going to have this right here, like a catcher's mitt. Okay? Now, if the punch comes in from the side, you'll be able to do this, and we'll get to that later on. We're not doing that right now. What we're doing right now is we're catching this jab. So I'm trying to hit you in the chin, and your hand, you're going to like high five me as I'm coming in. Does that make sense? Boom. Like high, yeah. Push, yeah. Just high five it, right? Boom. 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 All right, now, and the reason why you would not do this type of thing is because if you go ahead and do that, the person can just loop it around and hit you like that. And there is that you can, like, you could parry it, but you need to step back as you do it. So when you loop that back around, I'm not there to be hit. Does that make sense? But your default is just going to be a catch. Now, you grind your teeth at night? Is your bite normal? Are your teeth, are they tight? Is it tightly clamped down? Okay, so bite down. And tilt your head down so that you're kind of looking from under your eyebrows, because this alone is going to help conceal your chin, okay? So you're biting down, you got your chin down, and then your shoulders, get your shoulders a little bit tensed up. Not too much, but just have some tension there, because the shoulder is going to defend.
The real cream boy, a big peeing cream machine, also JJJJJ John 10th forever.
Your shoulder being tensed up is going to provide you with a little bit of defense. It's better than nothing, okay? So you're going to catch these jabs now, okay? And don't block your visibility. Wait till it. You keep it kind of low. You keep it right here until it comes in, but don't block your eyes like this. Having no visibility is like the worst thing. A little bit more pressure. I'm trying to hit light. If it's too much, let me know. If it gets to be too much, though, see if you can put more pressure on and stop it. Okay? Let me do this. All right. We'll do it like this. Okay? Here it comes. Keep your hand a little closer to your face. And the reason is if you have this, the further away this is from your head, the more easy it is to sneak around like that, okay? So if it's up close,
Josie go for his balls.
if you keep it up close like this, it's like a trivial amount of distance to then go like this to cover for the other punches, right? Whereas if it's like this,
Josie boxing with pale faces and
have a touch your chin, okay? And then when this punch comes in, boom, and then bring it right back. You take a little half step back too when it comes in. So because it's hard to stop this, you can also like a little half step back. All right, make sense? You following? You picking this up? You paying attention? Okay. All right, here we go. Are you taking impact right now?
Oh, yeah.
Where? In your nose?
I should lower it.
You might need to apply more pressure to stop this glove. Okay, you're not getting hurt, right? Okay. If you're getting hurt, then let me know. But just fucking put more pressure and stop this thing. Take that half step back too.
fish bettering themselves. Question mark you want to see. And keep up the good work.
Hands a little closer to your face.
Knock her teeth out, gold striker. Decimate bones.
You're gonna need bone glue or whatever the fuck Chris said.
Experiments in bone.
Yeah, we gotta get some of Chris's meds out here.
$1 million extreme baby.
Get your face back and your body back. So as you meet this, half step back like that, okay? And move your whole body back, alright? Alright, you punch John now.
Good luck to you both with the training every time I see you.
John, see how relaxed you can get.
Okay.
Mr. Goldstriker, why is Frank gone again?
Ew, icky. John, you don't have to always be retreating.
I can punch back?
No, don't punch back. You don't have to be backing up.
Oh.
You can stifle her. You can stop her by just putting your hand on her like this and whatever.
Oh.
Josie, try starting from a little further away, and when you jab, really step in. Try it that way. Here, look at me, try feinting as you come in, so feint, boom, hard. Yeah. Try feinting to the body, then go into the head. Alright, that's good. Alright, John, you come and throw your jabs at me.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Did you absorb any information?
Yes.
What?
Do that. Right one. It's 3 times. You can push up. I'm tired.
Did anything feel successful?
Feel better than when I did with pants.
Okay, alright, whatever. Alright. Left hand alone, so start coming straight at my face.
Oh.
Alright, come on. Try to actually get it. Not that high, just relax it home. Like that. Now, yeah. Do that a bunch of times now. There you go. Keep your
What is in your pocket? Can I trust you?
when you start, have your feet like we're fighting. Yeah, like that, yeah. Go ahead. Boom. Now reset your feet, and I start over again. Boom. There you go. Boom. Wait, you're not going to flex your leg or anything. It's just dead weight. It's like a baseball bat that's just kind of, it's like this type of swing, okay? It's just like total dead weight, boom, into this target right here. And when you try to hit with like so that your leg hits kind of like this, so that your toes are just past the end of the target, okay? I'm just going to hold one pad. That's good. Now hit with your toe. Your toes should be back here, because you want to hit with your shin. Try that. Hold it a little lower. Boom. Hit more with the shin. Boom. Try to hit the dot here. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Boom. And now you don't need to spin anymore. So once you make contact, you can come right back. Boom. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Come over here so people can see it. That's my bad. Boom. Hit the dot. Boom. Alright, so I'll do a little harder now. There you go. Boom. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Hit that dot. Target's a little lower than you think it is. No, hit lower. You good? Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Harder. Now keep going harder so you can't anymore. So.
If you shut the fuck up and behave, you want
Shit you take, let them yell.
John.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Why are you
Shut
mad?
the fuck up. Because you were picking on someone who has a disability.
He's talking shit to me.
Why do you think that is? You were fucking trying to use him the first week he was
No, I
here.
didn't. I was
Shut
trying
the
to-
fuck
All
up.
I did was be friendly to
Can I ask you
him.
something?
Let him talk.
Did you, before coming here, did you ever meet a disabled person?
Yeah.
John stands up for his friends. John will.
How many?
I don't know, but I've had like autistic friends
Probably not that
before.
many. Probably one. That's all I'm saying. You're from a small town.
No, I'm not. I'm not from a small town.
You know,
And I've dealt with
I think it's
people
best
who
if
are,
we
like,
don't even
autistic.
respond to him.
Here's the thing.
Which is why, like, when
Let fucking
John
Vance talk.
when John would have meltdowns,
Let him
back
talk.
then I would
Let
always
him talk.
defend him to you guys,
Let
and
him
I would
talk.
say like, oh, he has autism, so he responds to stress differently.
Let
I
him
would
talk.
really
Let him fucking talk.
defend him. I'm
that-
saying how he used to defend
Hey! Let him fucking talk!
Did you know that I'm disabled?
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I never learned to read past 14th grade.
You're 14th grade. Did you just say
Are you trying to make fun of him?
14th grade?
Are you trying to make fun of
My
him?
disability?
Vance is fucking.
Fuck yeah!
I
He's
can't believe it.
disabled. Of course he said 14. He doesn't know how many grades he
narrative
knows.
that I tried to like
Yeah, he's
manipulate
disabled.
everyone.
Let it. Why do you gotta make fun of other disabled
But the
people?
truth is, like I was really friendly to Chris when he came in.
Yeah,
Like-
only in
Swing like this, okay? Make sense? So reach for my shoulder with your right hand without stepping
Think
towards
of it
it.
as jet space when he makes you do the plushy dance.
This right here. Get your feet, put your feet back. So you're reaching here, and then when you kick, this is just going to go like that. Okay? So just go like that a few times. Boom. 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 Okay, now go. And that's like a counterweight, kind of. Hit harder. Don't swing your hand down here. Because part of the point of this is to prevent your hand, is to create traffic in the punching lanes. So the punching lanes are this imaginary space where we could punch. If I put this out, I'm creating traffic, And as I sweep that way, I'm like sort of potentially blocking any sort of counter punch that comes. So like to, yeah, exactly. Harder. That's not hard. You're doing it harder like 10 seconds ago. Yeah. Come on. You might need more distance. But hit more with your shin. Now remember, swing it like dead weight for now, but do it hard though. Yeah. Yep. Harder. Come on. Alright, how stretchy are those pants? Are they stretchy? Can you hit a body kick right here?
I'm not very flexible with my legs, so I'm going to try.
Your legs are too sore. Alright, fuck, forget it. Alright, let's keep working with the low kick. Go ahead. And if your legs get too sore from this, we can switch it up and do something else. Okay, so just let me know when that happens. Let's do it. You're actually stepping back. Yes. So look at me. I'm stepping, boom, boom. And the point of this, the point of a lot of the footwork is to make it so that your momentum is he okay?
You just have to check me every time.
Alright, remember the thing, the staying on one foot?
Yeah.
Do it with your eyes open, left foot.
Alright. So the point of a lot of footwork is to make it
Close
so
your
that
eyes.
your body, which is like 100 pounds, so it's not an insignificant amount
What
of
time?
weight. You learned about momentum
Right
in
foot?
high school, 100 pounds times 2 miles an hour. That's a significant amount of energy, right? So if you make 100 pounds move 2 miles an hour this way, all of a sudden that strike has all that extra weight in it. Make sense? So when you punch, you're stepping into the punch. When you jab, you're stepping into the jab like that. You're making all that body weight go into the target, which is, I mean, that's the reason why weight classes exist, because the heavier someone is, that they hit harder just by the fact that they're moving more weight around. But you can maximize your own
Up and down.
striking power by stepping into it when you do this kick. And you can even, if you get good at this kick, what we'll do is the biggest thing that you use, you do a gallop into it, which is a ridiculously super powerful kick. So you can leave that in, kicking like that. That's really, really powerful because you're moving your body like 8 miles.
Touch your left ear to your left hand. Touch your left ear to your right hand. Step the other side. Okay.
Step a little more sideways. No, just the direction, how to go, like your foot go that way. Yeah. Is he alright?
You got him in the head pretty good. That'll be fun.
No, are you serious? Is he doesn't take any signs of concussion?
Overdilated eyes, but that could be because he was yelling for the last 15 minutes at Lenny, so I'll get him again in about an hour.
Alright. Thank you, Max. So part of the thing when we take a break in between each one, I'm thinking about how it felt. Part of the thing is like if you here, hold this. If when you make impact, hold it like I was holding it there on that side. So when you make impact, if you find your leg is like bent like this, and that's called being choked up. So if you go to punch and when you make impact, your arm is not fully extended, you go to jab and instead of extending all the way, you can make impact right here. If you're choked up when you hit, what that means is you have more range than you think you did. Okay? So what that means is, if I kick like this and my legs like this, Next time, I want to be start from further back so that it's fully extended. Does that make sense?
So if you're choked up, thank you.
If you're choked up, take a little half set back.
Guys, don't respond to that. Don't talk to them, guys. That's the new rule of the house. Don't talk to that.
So you hit with your foot that time, so you need to be a little closer.
It is true, guys.
That seemed pretty good.
It's too crazy. It's always my 5 seconds. It's like, avoid at all costs, not costs.
And we can stop when the right foot starts to hurt too. Just don't there's certain types of injuries you don't want to continue to train with. Your foot's not going to get stronger by continuing to abuse it. You know? Keep going. Work through the psychosis. One. A little higher now. Yeah. Yeah. Get more impact on that. Start hitting harder. Yeah. Try to hit that dot too.
Josie is on a training arc right now. She is on a mission to avenge her clan.
Let's try to get 100 more. One. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Harder. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20. Keep going. Harder.
Josie is going to walk the trail and get Kumars after this.
5. Harder. 6. Is the way I'm holding this fucking you up?
I'm trying.
Hit it hard, though. Hit that dot in the center. Hit it with your shin. Harder. That's 30. 70 more. More shin. Harder. Keep going. Harder. Harder. Starting to fade. Let's go. Dig deep. Give me like 20 more. If it's not hard, I'm not going to count them. 2, 3, 4, harder. 5, let's go. 14 more. Harder. Harder. Try to swing through. Try to make it so. Like imagine there's a target on the opposite side of my body that you have to hit. And to get here, you have to break through this. Alright? Swing through now. You got 11 more. Let's go. Come on.
Josie, you must get strong enough to rupture Letty's head with
9
one
more.
strike.
There you go. Yeah. 6 more. Let's go. Come on. 3 more. Hard. Now let's go as hard as you can now. 3 more. Yell when you do it. I forgot that. 5 more yelling each time. Yeah. Come on. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. That didn't count. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, good. I totally forgot the yelling is like super important. And it doesn't matter what sound you make. The idea though is you have your lungs are filled with air, and each time you strike, you're exhaling a little bit really sharply. Boom, boom, boom. And you're never like because that makes you exhale too much. You're just exhaling a little bit. And as you practice, the noise will change and you'll get more comfortable doing it. But for now, whatever noise you make is good. But if you go to like a professional boxing gym, everybody in the gym is making a different weird noise. Like one guy like another guy will go like it's all whatever you're comfortable with. But the idea is you have your lungs full of air, and on each strike you're exhaling a little tiny little bit. Like whatever noise it ends up being. Those were good. Now we'll do that roundhouse kick. That's kind of like the bread and butter of Muay Thai. And what you're doing with it, you're either kicking the leg, and if you kick this quad, and if you get somebody untrained and you kick them in the quad like 5 or 10 times, they're going to be moving much more slowly. So that's why you do that. And if you train this kick enough and you get good at it, you'll be able to kick people so that if they get hit with this, they can't really move. The leg gives out from under them. And the place to target, if you're really being nasty, if you're sparring with your friends, you can hit the meaty part of the quad. But if you're trying to hurt somebody, you would hit right above the knee right here, if possible. Which is easier said than done. But this will do damage to the quad here. If you hit the hip, that's not going to do anything. That's bone on bone. It's not going to hurt them. And then the non-dominant roundhouse kick, we'll get to that. We can get to that, but that's much more coordination is required for the non-dominant roundhouse kick, so you might as well not worry about that right now. If you wanted to practice and you didn't have anybody to hold pads for you, what you could do is just you've got the wall at like a 30-degree angle, and just bring it right back down. Obviously this house, it doesn't matter if you mark up a wall, but you wouldn't do this at home. So you can practice it like that, or you can just do the thing we did at the beginning where you spin around like that right there. So the next thing we'll do is This is called a teep, which is that's what it's known in Thailand. And it's kind of fruit cake that people call it a teep, but it's basically like a jab with your legs. So the same way that if you're boxing, you use the jab to find your range. By that I mean I'm going to reach out and see how far away you are from my hand. That's what range finding is. You don't even need to hit someone when you're doing this. You just put your hand out just to feel it out. Or the jab is you use it for just to quickly stop somebody if they're coming in towards you. You just quickly stop them like that. So the teep kick is the leg equivalent of the jab. So it's just raising up, reaching out, back and down like this right here. And that's a front leg teep, and then a rear teep is more powerful. But when you make impact with the target, you're making it with the ball of your foot. So the impact is like that right there. Okay, does that make sense? And you're hitting it like, you go and do that? So it's like you're trying to go straight, like so not back like this, but like straight into the target. Like you want that, you're trying to get the ball of your foot to like penetrate the midsection. So what that looks like, the way you train this is you just stand here. You need an obstacle that's like knee height, and you're gonna lift up, extend, bring it back, down. Make sense? And you don't have to hit the wall hard. You're just kind of like marching. Okay, do it with this obstacle right here, and just do 200 on each leg. And I know that sounds like a lot, but you're good at counting. And try to, once you get it figured out, try to get the pace going. And try to be balanced, graceful, and make an impact with the ball of your foot, like pushing into the wall like that.
Okay, let's start.
Josie given fighting stance, JJ.
41. Okay. Right. But then how do you do the second? Okay, whatever.
Fight on, Josie. You can do it. Fight on. We are all cheering for you. Keep going.
43. 44. 45.
Yo, hey, thank you, Shelby. I really appreciate you.
46. 47.
Thank you, Shelby. Thank you again for everything.
48. That one was good.
Shelby,
48.
nice to see you and why?
You're so here. Whoa! Now what are you waiting?
49.
No, I was asking for a white t-shirt.
No, she's okay. No white t-shirts. No, you can't be going to production asking for me. Get away from the door. Okay, go over there.
Jason told you he was going to be
John, you're in charge of her for the rest of the time. Okay?
Let me find something for you.
Dress her up nice. Dress her up pretty, John.
Now, what is the proper stance when you're doing this? Do you stand
It doesn't, for this, it doesn't matter. You can just do whatever. You're just trying to get back.
Telling me to stand in front of
No, you're okay. You don't have to stand properly with this. Try to hit with just the ball of your foot so that your heel does not make contact. Yeah, more like that.
When you front kick, push your hips out with the kick for more power.
That's too advanced for right now here, but look, go stand right there. Okay? Stand next to the wall. Okay? See this right here? We don't want that. We want this right here. Okay, we want to penetrate. You're kicking them in the stomach. So you're trying to penetrate their guts here.
So it's okay for your legs to be bent when you're doing this? You don't have to like come out straight?
Well, at the end you want your leg to be straight like this. When it's for most strikes, the more extension you get, the more power you're going to have. That's different for like a hook. On a hook, that's not the case. But on this one, yeah, you more or less want to be pretty extended here, but you're not making impact with your heel, okay? Get your heel further away from the wall. So look at my foot, look at that right there. See that shit? That's how you want to make impact. Okay, now switch each one. So go left, right, left, right. No. Left, right, left, right. There you go. Yeah.
Mr. Goldstriker, do you think the obstacle is maybe too tall for Josie also, JJ?
No. But it could be a little closer to the wall. Josie, the obstacle is there, just so you know, so that you are breaking the kick down into two phases. Phase one is this lift. Phase two is the extension. Does that make sense? It's preventing you from going like this, right? So that's why that's there. Now look, try to do it so that the rhythm, when your feet land, you don't have a shuffle. So here it is with the shuffle. Watch me. Boom. So that's with the shuffle. Here's without. Try to do it like that, okay? Yeah.
Good work. Josie, make sure you thank Mr. Goldstriker when you're done.
here's something to think. Have you been counting?
83.
83. Here's something else to think about. Okay, so if you were to,
Oh, my bad.
you come in.
I was gonna come check the trash real quick.
Yeah, check that trash out there. Get that trash going there, Chris.
Huh?
Do what you gotta do, my brother. So if you were building a bridge, okay, you wouldn't.
S's special technique of shadow boxing.
You would not have, if it was the type of bridge that was supported by columns, okay, you wouldn't have a bent column, right? Because if you had a bent column, it would not be able to take as much weight as a column that's like this, right? So this applies to many different straight strikes. So you learning? Are you still learning? Okay. So a lot of straight strikes like the jab, the cross, the teep, all of these, if at the moment of impact, if you can make it so that this joint is straight, what happens is your body weight, all this kinetic energy is going to flow into the target, whereas if it's bent like this, then it's going to flex. Does that make sense? So if you get full extension when you make impact, that's more powerful than if you don't get full extension. And on this teep, on this kick here, right here, at this point, I really want this to be super rigid and my body weight going into the target. Boom. So when you make impact, you don't want to be flexed like this and not able to push in as hard. And that's not something you need to do right now. That's just something to think about as you're doing these, and something to realize that if you're making impact and this is bent, it's not as powerful as if it's straight when you land. Okay? More ball of the foot. I don't want to see your heels getting too close to the wall.
Gold Striker is a normal guy who goes about his day normal life.
I'm so sorry, this is nasty. Ew. 86.